Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining our podcast, Moms on the Move. I'm Jen Wells.
And I'm Jennifer Sisk.
We have Kerry Anderson with us today from Dance Babes.
Yes, Cardio Dance Babes.
Cardio
Thank you for
Dance
having
Babes,
me.
of course. So you are also, I feel like everyone lately, I'm like, you're a member of the Powerhouse.
Yes, I am the head of the coaching tactical division of the Powerhouse. So Holly and I partner, and she takes care of the big group mostly, and I do a lot of the tactical teaching in our membership group.
Okay, so if anyone is unfamiliar with the Powerhouse group, it's a group locally in Greenville, and you consult and help women with their small businesses, with their ideas, and just kind of getting that on the ground, problem solving, all the things. But we've met some great women from your group.
Yes.
And so I love it.
It's a great way to connect. I love it. It was one of the first places I found when I moved here.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, it's a great community where women just kind of come together and support each other, I feel like.
Very much.
In doing something a little outside of the box, a little outside of our comfort zones. And I'm all about that. So I love being a part of it. I love helping women where I can. And we're so excited about the growth we've been seeing lately. So check it out if you haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, check it out, everybody. Okay, so tell us your story, how you started. Your dance.
Yeah, so I'm Kerry Anderson again, and I many years ago started out as a nurse. I have a medical background and a mom. Of course, I have a 13-year-old girl, which is a handful.
Oh yeah,
let me tell you, it's like looking in a mirror of yourself and seeing everything awful and great about yourself, and in that
I think my husband would be like, thank God we have four.
I think God knew.
I know.
He couldn't give me girls. I think he knew.
I think that's why I got a son
You're
the second
special.
time.
You really are.
And he's 10, so he's just like the grounding force in our household because there's a lot of estrogen going around. But yeah, so when I was a young woman and a nurse and a mom, I got very wrapped up, I feel like, in being a mom and helping people and working for people. I almost like lost myself a little bit in doing that. And I don't know if other moms do this, but I did. I kind of got a little bit obsessed with my kids. I was very helicoptery, very everything had to be perfect, like so much so that I got a little miserable. I got a little bitter. I got a little resentful. And so about 5 years ago, I kind of went on a little journey of my own. I pulled away from nursing partly because we took on a foster child in our home that was a family member. And so my kids were younger then, but she was a teenager. So I got a real rude awakening with what teenagers are going to be like. So we had her for 2 years. And during that time, I kind of pulled back a little bit from medicine. Wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do when I grew up. Again, was just sort of lost. And, as your kids start growing up and your kids start pulling away from you some, I didn't really know what to do with myself. And it was interesting because my husband is an actual serial entrepreneur. He's done a million things, and he owned a company called Palmetto Security Group, which was cybersecurity focused here in the upstate. And so he was traveling all over the world. So I was often a single parent, and again, kind of got a little bit bitter, a little bit even blaming sometimes with him because all my problems were because of him.
Obviously. Not your fault.
Obviously, could not have been. Speaking of divas,
have nothing to do with you.
Could not have been me. But I kind of started coming to the realization that I really needed to be responsible for my own happiness, and so I kind of went on that journey. And one of the things that I did at the time, two things. First of all, having been in so many circles with my husband in business, I kind of just by osmosis absorbed a lot of information, a lot of contacts. Like just being in the world, I started learning a lot in kind of a trial by fire kind of thing. So I decided to write a book on what it had been like to be married to an entrepreneur. So I wrote a book called In Bed with the Business, an entrepreneurial spouse's survival guide. So that was fun. And it kind of launched me into doing more business things, doing more speaking gigs, being on some international stages because he's great about taking me out of my comfort zone. And so like I was speaking in different parts of the world on the book and some of the stuff that
very impressive.
It was a lot of like I loved it. I loved it. But it was this little bit of a shift from, I'm mom and wife. And I had a lot of guilt with wanting to go and like chase my own stuff. And kind of during the same time, I'd become a dance fitness instructor, basically Zumba. I'd gotten Zumba certified for my church. And as I was still traveling and doing some speaking engagements, doing some speaking gigs, I was helping run our women's ministry at our church. And so I got very, very good at speaking and running communities. And also I was teaching at a local YMCA. And I kind of moved away from doing Zumba and started doing more like pop, hip hop kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I think that getting up on stages and dancing and shaking your butt in front of people really prepares you to speak on stages.
Yeah.
So
you can do that. You can do it.
It was so funny because I feel like the community from my church, the dancing and just getting comfortable on stages and being comfortable in my own skin, and then also having this other layer of having written the book and having put something of my heart and soul like literally out into the world, especially I think when it comes to your marriage and you're kind of just like, here's my dirty laundry. So I think it was a lot of those things combined that really pushed me from being so hyper-focused on my kids and everybody needing to be perfect and everything to like, all right, if I'm going to do all this stuff, like some stuff's got to, the expectations have to be managed.
You can't do every single
thing. You can't do it all and let great get in the way of good. So I feel like, during this time, some of my perfectionist stuff started kind of falling away. And what I realized is I stopped being more of a helicopter parent and more of a like, guess you're having SpaghettiOs for dinner kind of parent, that my kids started to actually thrive. Like even our relationship was improving, partly because I had just stepped back and let them kind of step more into their own independence. And then COVID happened. And so a lot of the things that I was doing, speaking gigs, that kind of thing, just came to a halt. I'd been doing a lot of workshops and things for entrepreneurial organizations. And a lot of those things just completely shut down. We had to kind of pull back and reassess. And I don't think that I'm the only person that happened to. I'm sure a lot of people had to do some of that same thing. And it was funny because the gyms at the time completely shut down. So, while we're all now back at home trying to homeschool our kids and not kill anybody and not lose our sanity and not
drink too much wine,
not turn into alcoholics or gain 20 pounds. Not sure I fully succeeded at any of those things. But it was interesting because obviously the gyms shut down, but because I'd had this business Zoom account, I was like, hey, some of these other instructors and I could get on a Zoom call and we could still teach these classes. And it was a hot mess. It was a complete hot mess. That was like before anybody knew Zoom was even a thing. Like there were only a few people who used it regularly. And I was like, no, we can do this. And of course the music was a mess and the audio was a mess and the video quality was a complete mess. We didn't know how to run big Zoom calls like that, but it just got better over time. And because we already had this community with the YMCA, we were able to kind of pull some of those people together and say, hey, we can still provide for you the thing that you've loved all these years, and we can kind of go through this hard time together. So that kind of launched at the time what ended up being now Cardio Dance Babes. And it was kind of a play off of the name of the class that we had, and it was called Cardio Dance Blast. And then when we created this group, this Facebook group, with people that, all of the instructors kind of knew, we called it Corona Dance Babe, sort of as a play on words, and it just kind of evolved into Cardio Dance Babe. So there were a few instructors that, for whatever reason, whether it be their own health issues or an at-risk child, that kind of thing, they knew that they weren't going to be able to go back into the gym and teach like they had before. Like the complete landscape of everyone's life had changed and shifted. And at this point, I was already observing the powerhouse, just kind of like watching and seeing what happens. And so both of those things kind of happening at the same time made me think, and maybe probably too, just the general exposure to entrepreneurship, exposure to business, and taking what felt to me like a pretty big leap in publishing a book in the past. I was like, oh, you know what? I was very careful and very safe here, and I was pretty miserable. As I've learned to continue to jump and take risks, I find that that's oftentimes where I find my own happiness. And when I'm happy, everybody else around me is happy. So
happy life,
why not? Why not try and jump and do another thing? So I talked to some of the other instructors and was like, hey guys, I have an idea. What if we try and provide this sort of online solution on a bigger scale? What if we did something like that? And so I have two business partners who decided, yep, we're going to get on the crazy train with this girl and we're going to see how it goes. And so since then, of course, gyms have started opening back up. There's a lot of different ways now in which people are getting their fitness solutions, but we've been able to kind of continue to adjust and adapt as the times have and as the needs have. And the interesting thing about business right now, and especially when it comes to like target markets, you think you understand a target market, but the target market's needs and wants and desires are changing so rapidly now that it's very like you think you got it, and then something changes again and you kind of have to adapt. So we have been able to do more online things, but also in-person things. So like fun events where moms and busy women and whatever get to come out to an event and we have some sort of silly themed thing, and it's a fun reason to get out.
Like parties?
Yes. Yes. And they are so much fun. They are so much fun. And it's just a great excuse, I think, for women to stop busy life for a second and make themselves a priority. And even in doing some of that, we have spoken to so many women who, I think especially because of the pandemic, maybe more now so than ever, the women that we work with and the women that we speak with still tend to be so frustrated and overwhelmed with, well, now I've gained 30 pounds. Now what? And or they're just really, really trying to get back in the swing of things, and they've lost their grip on fitness, nutrition, like a lot of those things. But the other big piece that we have found too is the more and more we talk to women, the more and more we're in community and with women, we understand that there's also this mental piece too. There's a lot of noise, beauty industry, fitness industry, everybody telling you what to do all the time. Do keto, do CrossFit, do this.
E2M.
Yeah. Right? We need to do a cleanse. We need to do all of these. There's so much noise that now I think people are overwhelmed and they don't even know where to start. So as we've tried to adapt to whatever the needs, are of the women that we serve, we've started to create a program that kind of is back to basics, back to health class a little bit, sort of a program that's a 6-week intensive that is just that. It teaches women exactly how to manage their fitness, their nutrition, their mind-body alignment in conjunction with like an accountability piece. And it's hard to stay accountable. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to stay consistent. So we're working on creating something like that to sort of fill the gap, because so many of the women that we talk to are so busy, they can't fit stuff in. They can't, and we really want to help women live their lives to the fullest and incorporate their health and wellness in a sustainable way, sustainable inside of their existing lifestyles. So,
well, and there was something you said, it was on Instagram. I was scrolling through your old Instagram and I saw the old Instagram filters and I was like giggling. Do you remember the old Instagram filters? The original?
Yes, the original ones.
Yes, they were so funny. Anyway.
Oh man, yeah. That was a long time ago.
It was. But there was something you said, like, healthy doesn't look the same for everyone.
No, it does not. It does not. And that's something I think that gets sort of lost. Everybody thinks that there's this magic pill that if I just was consistent, if I just didn't keep falling off the wagon, then I wouldn't, when I do, I'm weak. When I do, I'm disappointed in myself. And that's not necessarily true. It's just that we just keep trying to take the magic pill over and over again, and it's not sustainable.
Yes.
And so we would like to kind of pull it back and be like, whoa, all right, let's get back to health class, understand exactly how fitness and nutrition work together, because there's a deficit in education about those things. And I think when we just give women the tools to be able to incorporate it in their own lives, it can make a huge difference in, again, how they show up in the lives, in their lives, in the lives of the people that they take care of.
Well, and I think, too, if you find something you enjoy, it's so much more sustainable. So if you're going to your classes and you're laughing and you're having a great time, you want to come back. You know, I had broken my toe recently, and no offense to my spin instructors, but the only thing I could do was spin, and I hated it. So I would dread going and dread going. So anyway, like, I finally got to start running again this week and was just so excited. I was excited to go back out. But yeah, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep up.
It's not going to be something you want to come back to.
Something else you have to do.
If it's such a chore, it makes it completely unsustainable. You're not going to see the results that you want, and you're certainly not going to keep them once you get them. So I think it's really important to do what you love, do what makes you happy. And even when we are, when we're working with our members, listen, do your cardio, sure. Do your strength training, sure, absolutely. Do a recreation, do something you like, do something, walk the dog, go for a hike, play with your kids, do something that you enjoy, because otherwise you're not going to come back to it and do it again.
Yeah. Well, dancing kind of gets you out of your comfort zone too.
It does.
So when you go, and I was talking with Jen about this earlier, when you go and dance, you're kind of in a different place, and your dynamic about you is different. Everything's different, which then I feel like helps you to believe in yourself a little bit about things because you're doing something different. So I am very interested in what you do.
It's very funny when it comes to dancing, and I know I'm pretty buttoned up today. But I mean, it's like when you put on that hat, like you're your own Sasha Fierce, and you get to be Beyonce for just a minute. It's incredibly empowering. And when I am dancing, well, maybe not when I'm being an instructor because I'm thinking about what comes next, but when I'm dancing, it's the only time my brain shuts off. It's a massive stress relief, anxiety relief, and I love looking out into the crowd that I'm teaching to and seeing all just the ridiculous smiles on people's faces. I promise they're not, I've been there. I promise they're not smiling like that at CrossFit. I promise you they are not going. I promise you they're not. So
no, I've been there.
Yeah. There's no smiles, only dying. But yeah, It's a great workout. It's empowering. Again,
Where's it located?
So we are using the studio space at Veracity Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have a pretty set schedule for when we are there.
Where is Veracity?
Veracity Fitness,
downtown?
and it's right off Woodruff Road, right by the Burn boot camp that we were talking about.
Oh.
There's the
Yeah.
other one, isn't it? Is that the?
It's right around the corner, right beside that Mexican restaurant. Compadre. No, it's not Compadres.
Because yeah.
There's
There's
two
two
or
of them.
something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, like right
Yeah.
across from that Wendy's right there.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. And so I know Rebecca Elliott, the owner of Veracity, through the Powerhouse. And again, the Powerhouse has been instrumental in helping me feel confident enough, again, because I've been in a lot of business support systems, and there's just nothing like having women to be the ones who are like, you're killing it, you're doing it, supporting you all the way. I worked with my husband for many years, and he's just like, just do it. So it's so nice to have that kind of energy, encouraging you, supporting you all the time. And so Rebecca, I met through the Powerhouse, and it's really interesting. I think a lot of times in business, it's very easy to feel like there's a lot of competition. Obviously, she's fitness and I'm fitness. And one of the big tenets of the Powerhouse is collaboration over competition. And so it was a beautiful and natural fit for Rebecca and Cardio Dance Babes to work together. And so we're very, very blessed to be able to partner with her and do our classes in their studio
We
space.
need to have Burn Boot Camp go there.
I think that they have done some.
Oh, really?
Or have you come into? Or
Yeah, do you ever go to
Burn?
other spaces?
Yes, absolutely.
That would be kind of neat.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
our
Do you
Burn's
ever have
off
drinks?
Pelham Road. Yeah.
Well, funny you should ask. We
Trying
have
to plan
had
a rager.
We have had events where there has been some consumption, and those are especially fun because, like, you do the class and then everybody just cranks up ludicrous and it gets crazy. But
That is a good idea.
Gone wild.
Yeah.
It is exactly that. You never know how much women just need to let loose.
It's so
do.
true.
Take their hair down
Truly.
and
You do.
think about themselves and remember that they are a woman and an individual.
And fun and
And fun.
exciting.
Not always scolding your kids. Not always
Uh-huh.
like, this is next, this is next, this is next. And feeling
And
like the burden of just
Routine.
everything.
Adulting.
Just
I get so
breaking out.
tired of adulting.
I know.
Like if I have
Return
to
and
adult,
exchange
I
that.
know, right? So it's so nice to just lay it down for a minute and enjoy yourself and not take life so seriously. I remember telling my husband one time, I was like, I used to be fun. And now and so now I have built in time to go and prioritize my fun young self whenever I want to. So it's amazing. We love it. We're very proud of it.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like we really do need to get a group. Ladies, if you need to let your hair down and have a great time, you know where to call. And it's healthy.
Yes,
healthy
absolutely.
way.
And you meet new people.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just fun.
it's a fantastic, supportive community, and there's no comparison.
Mhm.
Everybody's just like a come as you are, no matter what age, no matter what color, no matter what. It's just women getting together and being silly and fun. We
Yeah.
need more opportunities like that.
Moving
know.
your body.
So
Yeah.
true. Well, thank you again.
Thank you. For having me.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Do you want to tell like your social media real quick? Where to go?
Yes. So you can find us on Facebook at Cardio Dance Babes and on Instagram at Cardio Dance Babes. Also, our website is cardiodancebabes.com. I think that's it. And of
Great.
course, we have this free community as well on Facebook. So if that's something you'd be interested in doing, it's just an interesting, fun community where we just, I think, connect as women on multiple different levels. And that's where we update everybody about whatever our class schedules are and that kind of thing. So the Facebook group is, again, I think there's a button at the top of the Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Come shake your butt.
Yeah. Little booty shaking never hurt anybody.
Well, thank you again, everybody. And we want to thank our sponsors real quick. Amanda McCall is our title sponsor. She is with Prime Lending. So grateful for her. She is our official first sponsor, and she is still here with us. I want to thank my new brokerage, Nest Realty, for their support. And I want to thank Parham Smith Archenhold, Blackacre Law, Body Works. Ashley Denoy is amazing. If you are interested in doing Pilates or anything, she is just all about women's health and just, integral. What did I just say? Cut. She is just very into the community and supporting women. So thank you. And we want to thank Southern Girl Chic too for dressing us.
Y'all are so super cute.
So much fun.
So thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you next time.